everyone, welcome back to Design Basics. I seem to be obsessed with duplicating the cards that are in the March Stampin' Success for some reason. I thought this card right here was really fun, and I thought that I would kind of put my own twist on it again. I don't normally duplicate exactly, but by chance I do have the Holiday Blitz, which I bought oodles and oodles of moons ago, that I have loved and think it's just a very versatile set. And Teeny Tiny Wishes, again, happens to have a St. Patrick's Day in it. One of the things that I appreciate about the Teeny Tiny Wishes is that there are so many greetings in it. So let me show you what I did. I took, my colors are a little bit different, and it is going to be a St. Patrick's Day card. So I am going to go with some of their colors though. This is the soft suede and one of the inline color papers. And the right stuff is where these pieces came from that have designer paper, and they also have these fun die cut pieces. This one, however, is not, and I'll show you where this circle came from. Their flower was green. I'm going to use this one. I think it's ruby red, I think is the color that's in there. So I'm going to use that piece. And they did layer this yellow kind of a crosshatch piece on here inside of their circle, which I'm going to do. And this size circle, I'm not really sure where theirs came from, is a 2-inch circle, and you can either cut that out with your circle cutter, but the Circles number 2 die that you all know I'm obsessed with has a 2-inch circle on it. So I'm going to use that. It's just quicker and easier for me. So let's start assembling our card. I have my designer paper, and this piece happens to be 2 3/4 of an inch wide by 4 1/4 long. So I'm going to put some adhesive on that. At first I thought this was the vellum that had the circles on it, the polka dotted background on it, but I think it's the designer paper. Sometimes I just look at the pictures, I have to admit, and duplicate from there versus doing it exactly the way they did. Now I'm going to put my ribbon. I think they used Old Olive Gross Grain. This is the Old Olive Satin. Tie this in a knot. This is what's going to give us the effect of leaves, and it's going to bring that color in for St. Patrick's Day. And I'm also going to talk about how this color is going to make our shamrock stand out just a little bit more. So trim off my tails, throw that away. I'm going to slide my ribbon down because I need to put my flower on. Okay. Before I adhere this, though, I want to assemble the whole thing because I'm going to put it on dimensionals, and that might make it a little bit hard to stamp on. I'm going to take this piece of yellow, I think this is So Saffron, and I'm going to stamp my greeting, and I'm going to stamp it in chocolate chip. They had originally, I think, stamped the greeting and the shamrock in Old Olive because they were using a lot of just Old Olive and the soft suede colors together. One thing that I appreciate about this paper is that it has lines on it, so it makes it a little bit easier to line your words up. I'm going to use the chocolate chip ink because I felt like it stood out just a little bit more, and because I'm doing something a little bit different than what they had originally done. Here is my shamrock, and I have 2 shamrocks here, and I'm going to talk about which one I'm going to use. Let me get some dimensionals out. This piece I'm going to mount on dimensionals. Just use 3 of those. That'll help raise this up and really bring attention to this flower, which is our focal point. Put this on, just making sure to cover up the journaling lines that are on there, which would be really cute on a scrapbook page, but since we're putting it on a card, I wanted to kind of cover that up. Now I have my 2 shamrocks, and they had just stamped directly onto the paper with Old Olive, and the shamrock was Old Olive, but again I wanted to add more dimension. So I have 2 here, and let's look at which one looks better. Both of them are stamped in Old Olive ink. One is on Old Olive cardstock, and one is on Whisper White cardstock. So I'm going to lay down the white with Old Olive. See how that looks? Not bad. Now here's the Old Olive on the Old Olive. Now to me, that just pops so much more, and it's because it brings up the intensity of the Old Olive, where this is a little bit more muted, okay, because it's tone on tone here. So I'm going to use that one. It makes it stand out just a little bit more. I'm going to have to cut some of these pieces on my dimensionals. I hope you guys use the edges of your dimensionals. Added bonus of having those. That one's a little bit big. There's one, that one's too big. I cut a couple more that are smaller. Okay, those two should work. There. One there. Now if you really wanted to take this to the next level, and I may do that and finish it off and then take a picture, is you could put Crystal Effects on top of this little shamrock and he would be really adorable and he would stand out even more. Another reason he stands out is because I put dimensionals behind him. Isn't that cute? Love it. Now notice these little edges on your on the flower when you punch it out, because they are on a single sheet to be held together. If you want to get rid of those, just take a little sanding block. Let's see, there's just a couple of them, and you can take those off. You can also, if you don't have one of these, which I highly recommend, you can use just a regular little nail file as well. Now I'm going to put dimensionals on this. Again, the reason I didn't put them on earlier is because I wanted to get it assembled first. I'm not going to go too far out because this flower edge does hang over. This one, these two back in. It does hang over. Let's move these over as well. Alright, that should be good. Now let's add it to our card. Make sure I have this down far enough. Move that up a smidge. You could also turn the ribbon this direction, which I'm thinking I might also like. I am not going to add the buttons over here that they had. I don't feel like it's necessary because I brought so much emphasis to my shamrock up here. I think I might turn my ribbon. Hold on, I'll show you how to do that. Because I like to cut my cardstock as much as possible. I'm going to end up having to untie this. I should just do that anyway. The reason I cut the cardstock this way is because I thought I was going to do it the way we just had it tied. But since I want to change it and make it go this direction, I need to figure out where I want my ribbon to be. Let's take a look at that right there. So, hold my finger there. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to take my Craftin' rubber scissors. To hold it this direction, and I'm just going to cut a little notch. Don't worry about the notch showing because the ribbon is going to go inside there. So then I have this little hole that I can run my ribbon through. Slide this over. Trim my tails. I reserve my paper snips for paper and for ribbon. That keeps them nice and sharp, and I try not to cut adhesive. That's why I pulled these out, was to cut those dimensionals, because I don't want to use my paper snips on the dimensionals. Oh, fun. Okay. My hand, so you can see, not left-handed. I have a tendency to work with my right hand. Make sure my words are straight. Press that down. And there you have it, the cute St. Patrick's Day card. Here's my version of this card right here. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me for Design Basics.